On today's show, the LA Clippers with a big night coming up on Friday. The return of Red. In-season tournament, Sacramento Kings. Going to be talking about it all on today's Locked On Clippers.
You are Locked On Clippers, your daily Los Angeles Clippers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, sir. You were locking in with the Clips. Thank you for making Locked On Clippers the first listen of your day, your team every day. I'm your host, Darian Vaziri, born and raised in LA and in my 20th season as a Clipper fan. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dime Dropper Pod and subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA sports, and NBA content. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. Let me know what you're most excited about for Friday night. Is it the in-season tournament game? Is it just playing against the Kings? Or how about the red jerseys returning? I'm going to be talking about all that in this one. And before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. And Locked On Clippers now has a newsletter. The Locked On Clippers daily newsletter written by yours truly. Monday through Friday. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Just sign up for free now at lockedondaily.com. That's lockedondaily.com. All right. Clipper Nation, happy weekend. It's good to be at this time of the week. Clippers are 9-7. We got our second in-season tournament game for the group stage or pool play, however you want to call it, coming up on Friday night. And this one is against the Sacramento Kings. Now, our first game of the in-season tournament was against the Houston Rockets, and we got crushed. So we just got to look to the next one. Now, for me, the in-season tournament, I'll talk about how I feel about it in the next segment. But I just see it as a game against the Sacramento Kings, right? A Sacramento Kings team that at the current moment is 8-7, so half a game behind us. So they're not doing much better than us, believe it or not, even with 3-star caliber players in Derrick Jones, in DeMar DeRozan, De'Aaron Fox, and Domantas Sabonis. Wow, their best players' names all start with D. DeMar DeRozan was kept in. Oh, by the way, so we beat them 107-98 at Golden One Center just a few weeks ago. And that was the game where Norman Powell had a double-double and just went. I mean, he went off scoring-wise, but he's had a lot of games like that so far this season. But the 31-12, it was his first career double-double. And then you had a Ivica Zubac's double-double with 13 and 15. Amir Coffey came off the bench and gave you 14. Derrick Jones Jr. was 4 of 5 from 3 with 14 points. And you also had Kevin Porter Jr. having that good fourth quarter. So we got a great win. That was one of our better wins of the season, that game against Sacramento, 107-98. There's no reason why we can't get that type of win again. However, there's one difference, and that is that Norman Powell will be out for this game with the hamstring strain. Now, we just beat the Orlando Magic, albeit without Paolo Banchero, without Norman Powell. And by the way, Malik Monk is going to be out for them, so they're missing a guy that does a lot of the similar things for their team that Norman Powell does. I don't think that it's impossible that we win this game. I was a little bit lower on the Orlando game because I just didn't know how our offense would look without Norm. But we got those contributions from Amir Coffey. We got a better scoring game from James Harden. We got some from Ivica Zubac as well. So we got those. And Jordan Miller came in, gave us how many points? 8? Yeah, 8 points. KPJ with an efficient 10. So we got contributions from a decent amount of places. It really does start with Harden for me. It always does. If he's scoring the ball and shooting well, and he didn't even shoot very well in the last game, but he shot well from 3 and he got to the line 12 times. So we'll see. He's going to be seeing a lot of Keegan Murray tonight. Probably some Keon Ellis, some De'Aaron Fox. But he's going to try to target the likes of Kevin Huerter and who knows who else. But it starts with James for me. We still can beat this team, though, even without Norman Powell, because our defense is so good. That's the thing. We're 6th in the league right now in defensive rating, even without Kawhi Leonard. We move our feet well. We have active hands. And James Harden, he's stepped up the last couple of games defensively. He has gone active with his hands, but he's just had a higher attention to detail and effort on that end of the floor for me the last 3 games or so. So when he's locked in defensively, we literally have, like, especially without Norman Powell, not to say that he's been bad defensively at all this year because he hasn't, we have no weak links in that starting 5 defensively. Derrick Jones, Zoo, Harden, Amir, Kris. When we have Norman Harden, we know those are the 2 guys you probably want to attack in terms of guarding on the ball. But yeah, the Sacramento Kings, I mean, look, I got respect for this Kings team. They're good. DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, all exceptional players. Keegan Murray has really taken strides defensively the last couple of seasons. Well, no, I should say last season because that was his 2nd season. But I don't know. I haven't watched. Let me tell you when the last Sacramento Kings game I've watched is. Because as I said in like some of the previous shows, I've only been able to watch Clipper games lately. I have had no time to watch anything else, and that sucks because I'm a fan of the league. I want to know what's going on. I haven't even been able to watch the Lakers, who is always been the team I watch the second most because they're local. They're always, there's never a dull moment over there. Never a dull moment here in the Clippers either, I don't think. In LA in general. But the Lakers especially, just because of the hype. It's just so funny. It's like a soap opera. Anyway. And, when I was a kid, they had Kobe, so missing out on greatness if you don't watch. Let's see. But it's always go Clippers. The last Sacramento Kings game I watched might have just been against us. It might have just been. I watched their opening night game against the Wolves. I watched their game against the Lakers. But let's see. I watched a decent chunk of their game against Toronto that they lost by 3. That was Vince Carter's night. So I watched a little bit of that. But, yeah, I haven't watched their game since a game they've played since the Clipper game. So we'll see. I mean, they've lost to the Spurs by 20 since then. They lost the Atlanta Hawks by 1 point last game. So they're kind of struggling. I wouldn't be surprised if we beat them because momentum is everything. So, yeah, honestly, in-season tournament, I think it's a Friday night. Fans are probably, starting to figure out that, you might be able to park for cheaper if you go to an app. And you might be able to see a better team than you thought initially before the season with the way we're playing right now. And in-season tournament's going to be, I've seen the court. It looks really nice. At least in pictures, it looks nice. So, yeah, sounds like a fun night, Friday night. Get out to Intuit Dome. Your boy will not be there, though, because I have to prepare my AAU team for a tournament this weekend, and it's very unfortunate because we're going to be making the return of Red. But coming up, going to be talking a little bit more about this in-season tournament. I know it's year 2, but some people still don't really understand how it works. What do we need to do? Going to be talking about that coming up. I got to tell you a little something about Chime. We've all hit a point where we realized it was time to make serious money moves. Take control of your finances by using a Chime checking account with features like no maintenance fees, fee-free overdraft up to $200, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Learn more at chime.com/NBA. Chime helps you make progress with fee-free overdraft up to $200. Your next deposit is applied to your balance with no monthly fees or maintenance fees and over 50,000 fee-free ATMs. Set up direct deposit in your Chime account. After a qualifying direct deposit of $200+, Chime will notify you to enroll in SpotMe. And with an activated debit card, Chime will spot you up to $200 when you exceed your balance. Your next direct deposit is applied to your negative balance, and Chime never charges fees or interest for using SpotMe. Make your fall finances a little greener by working towards your financial goals with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/NBA. That's chime.com/NBA. Chime feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank, N.A. or Stride Bank, N.A. members. All right, Clippers, Kings, Friday night. Sadly, won't be in attendance, but I will be live after the game on YouTube and have an episode of Locked On Clippers for Saturday. Let's see if we can get this win. It starts with our defense, 6th ranked in the league, but this is also our second in-season tournament game, and I wanted to just explain how it works. Now, okay, the Emirates NBA Cup, they're also calling it. So basically, if you're a fan of soccer, especially in the in the European level, you understand exactly what this kind of is. And it's basically a Europeanization to me of the NBA by having a group stage like you would in a Champions League or in the World Cup or in the Euro Cup. And you make it out of the group stage and advance to knockout stages. And then you have a cup final. That's, straight out of soccer, right? So there's 5 teams per group, and they're in each conference. So there's going to be a West team and an East team in the final. Last year it was Lakers against the Indiana Pacers. Last year we had the Houston Rockets in our group. We had the Denver Nuggets in our group. This year we have the Sacramento Kings, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Houston Rockets again, and the Portland Trail Blazers. So, that being said, I think... Oh, yeah, we have the New Orleans Pelicans in our group as well. Can we get out of that group? Well, losing to Houston's not a great sign or start. I think we can definitely try to get those games against Portland. But, yeah, we play... So, it says 8 teams will advance the knockout round. The team with the best... So, you have to be the winner of your group. And then 2 wild cards, which is the team from each conference with the best record that didn't make it. So the second place team, the best second place teams. So we got to essentially finish top 2 to have any chance of winning this group. Now, I'm not going to read standings right now after one game. We'll check in after the second game. So, but if we lose this game against the Kings and lose one of the home games, I mean, it's not a great start. You know what I'm saying? 0-2. It's going to be hard to get out of the group stage then. And I also want to ask you, the fans, how much do you care about winning this thing? Because you play an extra game if you get to the final. That doesn't count on your record, but it's an 83rd game. And I'm just not a huge fan of them playing more games considering the injury rate right now in the league. But I guess, you could also say one game won't kill them. I also have a little bit of apprehension because if the Clippers win and we hang that banner that Adam Silver's mandating in the Intuit Dome, and I would be fine with us hanging something in the hallways, but in the rafters, I mean, the amount of jokes that are going to be made about that being our only banner we're going to get, and that's the only banner they can get, and of course that's their first banner. Do we want to hear all that? And then you see the Clippers popping champagne. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being weird about it because I'm resistant to change. But I wouldn't mind if we won every game of the tournament from this point forward, and then we lose the semifinal game and then don't play that final game. I wouldn't mind that too much. But I don't know. It would be cool to make the knockout stage. I'd say that. I don't really care much about winning the whole thing. I just want us to have the best record possible. So, or even, yeah. See, I was going to say making it to the final, and if we lose, it's not a big deal because it doesn't count. But it's an extra game, which I don't like. But listen, at the end of the day, you also could just say, F everybody else. It doesn't matter what they say. I would love to win anything. And there's definitely some, the organization wants to win something. Because, my thing is with Clipper fans is that we have a certain crowd of fans. And again, I'm not the fan police. But they're going to just go so crazy about that in-season tournament. And I don't know, man. We just don't. I don't need to hear the jokes, man. But I don't care, honestly, at the end of the day. It is what it is, win or lose. I would like to make it out of the group. That I want to say. I would like to make it out of the group. But yeah, there's 67 games across both stages of the Emirates NBA Cup, and they'll count towards the regular season standings except for the championship. So because of this in-season tournament, sometimes you'll have teams playing, and if they play in the knockout stage, a team playing each other 5 times in an NBA season now, which wasn't the case like my whole lifetime. It was 4 or 3 in your conference, and then 2 for the opposing conference. So there you go. In-season tournament rules. Now coming up, going to be talking about the return of Red. You know, we've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. Let's talk about it. I got to tell you a little something about Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.25% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on IRA account contributions. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. That's Robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. All right, Clippers Kings in-season tournament game 2 on Friday night against the Sacramento Kings, and it is the return of red jerseys. Ladies and gentlemen, the identity of the LA years of this franchise is back. I don't know if I know I'm not the only one, but I don't know just how many people are this happy about us having red jerseys again. Taking red away from the Clippers was an awful decision. And people started to say they don't want red because it's associated with Sterling. I can guarantee you that no Clipper fan in the history of mankind, when they see a red Clipper jersey, associates it with an old, white, racist, slumlord man. I just don't believe that. I believe they see their favorite players in their jerseys, in those red jerseys, and they see the logos of the Clippers. I love seeing those Lob City playoff games that I was at back in the early 2010s, and it was a sea of red. It was beautiful. Everybody used to put the shirt on. We've been missing that. And seeing more red in the crowd this year and into a dome has been such a breath of fresh air. Feels like the Clippers again. And on Friday night, the Clippers bring red back. I can't believe it. I don't love the color of the font on the Los Angeles on those jerseys, but the color looks beautiful. They haven't been up for sale yet. I'm going to probably, at this rate, get a Norman Powell one because I've said that I'm going to get a white zoo. But I mean, I just don't like that if the number is white, that's one thing I'm not a huge fan of on the jerseys, is that the color of the number and the color of the Clippers or Los Angeles is in a different color. I'd probably rather have it as one uniform color. But I think the letters being white on the Los Angeles would just make it a tad better. But I still love the jersey. Can't wait to buy it. God, our new jerseys are so nice. Like, geez. I'm not a huge fan of that Clips one, the City Edition. I just was never a fan of that Clips logo with the ball on the top. It just looks like some kid made it in like computer science class to me. So I don't know. But the blue is pretty nice. But yeah, I'm so excited about bringing this red back. It's going to look so great seeing the players wear it. And it's just a part of our identity for me. Like, just straight up. The red is a part of the Clippers' identity. 90s, 2000s, 2010s, we wore red jerseys. Now, I will ask the fans, which is your favorite red Clipper jersey of all time? I would love to know. And by the way, in the in-season tournament, you have 4 group games. So you just play one team apiece. Now, if there's a tiebreaker, you play one game apiece against each team. If there's a tiebreaker, because there's going to be a lot of teams that are 2-2 or 3-1, it goes head-to-head. Oh, I guess tiebreaker in the same group. Head-to-head record in group play. Point differential in group play. So that's going to be the main decider. So when the Houston Rockets beat us like that, and us losing by so much, that is not a good precedent for potential tiebreaker scenarios where point difference, just like goal difference in soccer, is going to be the tiebreaker. Because the head-to-head record, a lot of times, like, I don't think there's going to be as many ties in the same group as there's going to be ties when it comes to that wild card spot between teams in separate groups. But yeah, I mean, we got the Sacramento Kings on Friday in our second game. And then after that, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota. That's going to be extremely difficult. So we didn't necessarily get a great draw out of this. Yeah, we didn't necessarily get a great draw out of this. But it is what it is. We still got the Blazers. But yeah, I don't know. As far as the game, I'm thinking Clippers win it. We did it with our defense. The last time we played Sacramento, we were the first team that kept them under 110 points in a game at that point of the season. We kept them under 100. Like, we legitimately kept them under 100. Let's see if they've even... Oh, yeah, they didn't score 100 against the San Antonio Spurs, too. But it's been only 2 games this season out of the first 15 that they haven't scored 100 points. One of them was against us. So we're going to see a lot of probably Kris Dunn guarding De'Aaron Fox. You'll have Derrick Jones on DeRozan. I mean, we just match up so well. And then Zubats against Sabonis should be a nice battle. It's about our offense at the end of the day. Is James Harden going to be able to have a good high-scoring game? He's in a good rhythm right now. Zubats. Because we're going to need more from guys. Just like last game, without Norman Powell, we're going to need a little bit more from guys. Hopefully we'll see. I mean, not hopefully. We're going to see him, and I hope it's another good game for him. Jordan Miller. So I'm excited. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod. Subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA Sports, and NBA content. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every single time we post a video. The return of Red tonight. And, of course, your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Clippers Daily Newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On Clippers newsletter. The age-old proverb continues. Go Clippers.